Hello, fellow Redbirds. Welcome to Bird Fans Forever, podcast number 66. If you've been a fan of the podcast and like our videos, a good way to support the channel is to like our videos and slam dunk the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, Bird Fans Forever, with the number 4. Also, go follow us on our Bird Fans Forever Twitter account to be notified of our latest podcast videos, and visit our website, www.birdfansforever.com, where you can find a list of our previous podcasts. We're excited to continue our discussions with the 2025 Illinois State Redbirds recruit class with our 4th Redbird recruit. Please welcome Tyreek Coleman to our podcast.
What's up, Redbird Nations? Tyreek Coleman here, 6'2" guard out of Aurora, Illinois. I'm excited to get my career started with you guys, and we're going to have a fun time in Bloomington. Roll Redbirds.
Hello and welcome to episode 66 with Tyreek Coleman. He is an incoming recruit and will be playing in the 25-26 season here at Illinois State. How you doing, big man?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
Yes, this is awesome. So we start off every episode like we do all episodes. How did we get to ISU? But yours is easy. How is the recruiting process to get into Illinois? So talk about when it started and those kind of things.
Yes, sir. So for me, the recruiting process, my lead recruiter was Coach Slay. So he was the first person to reach out to me. So for me, as far as like my collegiate journey, as far as, accumulating offers, my first one came with Miami, Ohio, and then everything kind of got a little stagnant. And then I was playing with Illinois Wolves at the time on the UA circuit with Nick Allen, who also is committed there with me. I was sitting in it was our first live period, so this is when college coaches are able to come, check out the recruits in person. And Coach Slay reached out to me. He just was like, "Hey, what's up? This is Coach Slay reaching out from Illinois State. We're excited to see you play. We've been hearing some noise around you around the area, and we wanted to come watch you play in person." And so over that live period, I think we ended up playing about, I want to say 4 to 6 games. And I didn't hear from Coach Slay. So, after I played those games, I didn't hear back from him. So, I just accumulate. Sometimes with colleges, they'll reach out to you, but it won't go nowhere, just if they found somebody else. So that's just what I kind of thought it was. But after that live period, we went to play with our high schools. And we had live periods in June, which he then came to, him and Coach Pete, and they both came to, and it was awesome, man. They just, after my live period, they told me that they would like to get me on campus and set up a visit, because in that July, I want to say, was a dead period, so you weren't able to go on college visits. So it was the last one. I was talking with my dad. It was like the weekend of, and I was like, "Dad, they want to get us down there to campus. We'd be able to make that trip, because it's only under 2 hours for us to get there from Aurora." So it was super simple. My dad was like, "Yeah, let's get there." So it was just an unofficial visit. Got there, took pictures, got to meet all the coaching staff, got to go to Coach Pete's office and talk with him. He kind of just laid out, what it meant to be an Illinois State Redbird, and kind of all the stuff that came with, playing for this program. And, me and my dad was listening. We gave a little background information on what we've been through as far as, family-wise. And it was just good conversations. And then, as the unofficial visit started to, clear up, he hit me with the Tyreek, buddy, we love you, and we're going to offer you. And so that was my second offer I ended up receiving. And I was just, got in the car with my dad, was overjoyed, because, it was just something that I had been working for. And so from there, things took off. I don't think Coach Slay and Coach Pete were missing days as far as communicating with me day in, day out, with my mom and dad. My mom lives in Kentucky, my dad in Illinois. And so, he took it upon himself to get both of my step-parents' contacts and all of that and communicate with them on a regular basis.
Good.
And, just get to know me as a person more so outside of the basketball player, which was definitely huge for me and as far as making my decision. So I was super comfortable with them. And, I took my official visit with Nick and Isaac. We was the first people to get down there. And, it was, again, a surreal feeling. We get there to the hotel. They had everything laid out. We went to a team breakfast, got the chance to meet Isaac and all of his family members. And I was already acquainted with Miss Allen and Nick. So that was just, catching up like old times. And
right.
the visit went accordingly. You know, we got a chance to play with all the players, got a chance to meet them. Had dinner at Coach P house, which was super dope. They had some old players come in and play some games, and you know, just while I was there, man, it was awesome. It was just like, you know, this is a place to be. You know, Nick was the first one.
That's what he said.
I'm going to Illinois State. Yeah, he was like, Tyreek, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm committing here. He's like, I don't really want to take my other business. He had a lot of them scheduled coming up right after that one, so he was just like, yeah, this is probably gonna be the place. I've been feeling it, so he was the first one to hop on. And me and Isaac, you know, we were still like, Isaac was like, I got a coach that I told I would take a visit to his school, so
right.
Probably I don't know if I'll commit right now. And then same with me, I'm just like, this is my first official visit, so it's like I had three more lined up each weekend after that one, so it was just kind of like.
Who were those? Can I ask you?
The next weekend I had Northern Iowa, then Colorado State, and then I was scheduling one with Furman for my birthday weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had all those visits getting lined up, and I was just like, you know, this is the first one. I was in really heavy contact with you and Coach G and all of them over there, so I just was like, I don't know, but as the weekend kept progressing and we got a chance, you know, chill with all the players and kind of spend time with them and hang out, you know, Nick was like, he called me T Cole. That's what he called me. He's like, T Cole, how we feeling, baby? How we feeling? And I'm like, Nick, they starting to get me. He was like, I'm committing tomorrow morning, because that was the day that we were leaving. So we're gonna have all our final stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm getting there with you, man. I'm like 80% right now. I'll let you know how the percent increases through the night. So just as the night went on, I was, you know, I'm like, hey, he keep checking on me. He like, Tico, how we feeling? I'm like, hey, it's climbing, 88%. Just kept progressing, and from there, you know, got a chance to talk with Isaac too, because he ended up coming to hang out with us a little bit late, and you know, he's like, yeah, man, this might be the spot to be. And Nick, hey, if we all commit here, we know what we got, and it's gonna be fun. So we the morning roll around, and I was having my NIL meeting, like the way the office is set up. I was outside, Nick was inside in Coach P's room with all the coaches, and he looked at me before he went in, and he was like, I'm going to do it. And so then, you know, me and my dad talking with the NIL advisor, and all you hear is erupting, everybody screaming and hollering, and it's like, yeah, you hear Coach B, everybody screaming, and I'm like, I look over to my dad like, yeah, Nick just committed. And they so finish up my meeting, he come out, Coach P was like, yeah, we got one. He's like, Tyreek, it's your turn. You're on the clock. So,
no pressure.
So after that, I went in. I went in there in the office with him. Got a chance to talk with them in my final meeting. He just, you know, laid out the groundwork as far as what he foresaw for my future and how he could utilize me as a Redbird. Obviously, not offering nothing, but saying that I would have an opportunity to come there and be great and do special things. And that was all I was, you know, looking for in a college. You know, I had my three standpoints that I wanted to choose a college based off. You know, it was education, culture, all the, like, your culture stuff that comes with it, and then opportunity to play. And so all of those three things combined, because, you know, he was offering. He like, yeah, you know, he said, based off your three standpoints that you're looking for in a college, we have those here. And so as I was talking with him, I didn't tell my dad that I, you know, had the idea with Isaac and them, like we were going to commit. So I wasn't going to just jump the gun in the office. So as we left and we got on the road, I was just talking with my dad. He's like, how you feeling? And I'm like, man, that might be the spot. And Coach P, you know, Coach P did a nice little job with the kind of head coach conversation. You know, he hit me with while we was in the room. He's like, Tyreek, we love you, but just how you got other visits lined up, we have other players we're going to bring in, and if they love it as much as you, and they
this is the game, right?
Yeah, it's the game. And so, like, I remember talking to some collegiate guys that I kind of played around with in the area, like hooped around with, and I just asked them, you know, when you chose your college, what was like the deciding factor? And I remember one, I forget who told me, but it was like, he was like, you'll know when it's the right fit because you would rather be at that place than be without it. Yeah. So, like, for my first offer, Miami, Ohio, it was no longer committable because a guard committed in his spot. And so, like, that was before I accumulated any more offers. So I was just back to square root one, just trying to get as many as possible. So when I left there, you know, that was kind of weighing on my mind. And Coach P, obviously, with we're going to bring in other players. And if they like it and they commit, you know, what can you do? And I'm just sitting there with my dad. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know if I can risk this one. I don't think like I'll be really hurt if another guard come and take my spot. It's like that one for me. I really like it here. I don't want to waste no time. So I got home, called my mom. I'm like, hey, Ma, I think this might be a spot for me. And texted Coach P and Coach Slay in a group chat. I said, hey, what's up, Coach? Can I FaceTime y'all right now? Coach Slay, and they both responded. They were like, yeah. I think they was at a little event with the team, and they called me on one phone because they were together. I want to say it was Coach Slay's. It was a little group chat with my mom and dad, all of us in there, and I'm like, hey, what's up there, coaches, man? I appreciate everything you guys did for me this weekend. With that being said, after talking with my mom and dad, I'd like to commit to Illinois State, and they just erupted, in tears. Just a super heartfelt moment, and yeah, from there it's been just still building relationships, continuing to grow with them, and I signed, and now we're here, just getting ready. It's a couple months away, and I can't wait to be there.
That's awesome. So when you scrimmaged with that team, tell us about that, and you ran with some of the other players, right? And tell us about that moment.
Yeah, so that was my second time, funny or not, playing a collegiate scrimmage. So I took an official visit to UNI, and I had played with them. And I remember I went with my assistant coach. I just was like, man, this college is way more, it's way different. It's not as easy as high school. All these guys out here, they're physical, guarding. I remember I shot a layup on Tyreek Anderson. He got up high and got it. I'm like, dang, that's not happening at the high school level.
Right.
I realized it was like levels to it. So when I went into Illinois State, open gym, I'm like, I just got to go in here, play my style of basketball and not do too much, but just be me. And I remember the night before, funny or not, so Illinois State has like a little page where it has all your information on all the players, right, and like all the coaches. So I went on there and I looked up. I read through each player's stats.
Yes, that's awesome.
From them in college and in high school. So I had Dalton, said he came from UClair. It had his high school stats, all the stats at SIU. It had Johnny's Mr. Basketball, Malachi's came from Virginia, Chase, Cade Norris, Ohio boys, Ty Pence coming from a 1A in Illinois. So I did my research and just kind of how they played basketball, almost like a scouting report. And so when I went in there, I just just went in there, and it was funny while we were playing. I was, getting a chance to meet everybody. It was kind of like just putting faces and voices to everybody that I had read about. And so when I got out there on the court with Isaac, because Nick ended up sitting out because I think he was battling an injury, so he wasn't able to play with us. But me and Isaac were out there. We were running on the team, and it was just fun, man. We got a chance, showcase what we were able to do on the court. And hope the players there liked what we were showing, because as the night went on, they said that they would like for us to join the team. So, that just kind of added to it as well. Got a chance to see all the personalities on the court and get a feel of how we would play with them if, I do end up coming there, and it was just great.
Right. Did you get to run into Mr. Walker and his big body?
Chase. Nah, so I didn't have a chance to guard him. I was just watching. So he was playing against me. I never got a chance to be on his team, but I got hit with a couple of screens. That was right after we had just played on the UAA circuit. I remember my UAA coaches were like, as far as men teaching the man principles, they were like, we're going to fight through screens, kind of like hardcore dudes. And I remember like, I'm going to lock the hip, get through this, push the guard out and try to get through us. But that screen came and I just lost in the sauce. Like, I was a big, strong boy. And I'm like, dang, it just made me realize there's levels to it. And but just got a chance, watch his dominant stature in the paint. What he was doing on TV, he was doing in open runs. So, it was cool to see as well. So,
Tyreek, you play at Waubonsie Valley. You guys have had 2 great seasons. I think you're like 27-3 your junior year and like 31-3, something like that. Only 6 losses. And I've seen some of your stats. And one of the things that's really impressed me is that you're not just a scorer. You rebound, assists, and steals. So talk to the Redbird Nation. Tell us a little bit about your game.
Yeah, so like a little bit about my game. So as far as my like recruiting journey, a lot of coaches recruited me as for like a kind of a point guard, a guy that could see the court and kind of make all the right reads as far as through an offense, playing in that way. But as far as me like breaking it down, I know Coach P also let me know that I should be a great defender with how long I am as far as, being able to get steals and always being mentally locked in for every possession and not taking any plays off. So my defense is definitely a part of my game that I think kind of stands out as well. Then as far as, handling the ball, I don't think I get sped up too much as far as when somebody's trying to pressure me. I keep calm under pressure and scoring as well. I think I'm very good at slashing and getting paint touches and creating for others out of it. And if the opportunities for myself, get crafty around the rim and finish through contact. And then if I extend it out to the 3-point line, I can knock down a 3 as well. So, and then this year, as far as senior year, I got the chance to play more throughout the mid-range game, which I know is an element of my game that I want to get more consistent in because that'll be a shot that I need at the collegiate level. Yeah.
So I've seen some of your scores, your the Waubonsie games, and I mean,
yeah.
You guys just like defensively are stout. Like, so what are you guys running? Are you running zone? Or are you playing man to man?
Yeah. So for us, we played a zone. So my coach brought over a ball press from the team from the school that he was at before. So he's been a 4-year coach. So he's been there all of my high school year. I played under him for 3 years. And, he brought over his 1-2-2 first year. It was kind of his first year. I was on freshman basketball, so I wasn't on varsity 4 years. So, it was just kind of learning it. And then my sophomore year got a bit better, but we just had a tough schedule. So we ended up going 500. Then my junior year, where it kind of all got put together, we had the guys that lined up for the positions. 3 out in front was me, Trey, and Moses, and they called us like the 3-headed monster because we were all long and wiry and was getting we was probably combining for 12+ steals a game. The 3 of us just keeping our hands up and being active. And then if needed, especially this year more so than last, we would break out of the zone if it wasn't working and go and play man. So that was never an issue as far as for us as a team.
And your coach, I seen some quote, I don't remember exactly what it was, but he was talking about like when you have a star and doing the little things. And he talks about like you're a great rebounder, great defender, hitting the floor. Okay, now Pemberton, listen to this. He said Tyreek's the best screener on the team. That's a compliment for a guard. So tell us about that a little bit.
It was huge.
You talked about Chase setting a screen on you. You're going to set a couple on him, apparently, right?
Yeah, get a little get back. Yeah. No, for me though, I've never been a player where it's like I hunt for like, the big stats. So I've never been a guy where it's been like I'm gonna go out here and score 30 tonight, score 40 tonight, or like even attempt it. I always had like a little notion where like if I go and chase something, it'll be harder to kind of get. So like if I'm going out searching for my own bucket and not playing through the offense and being selfish, it's gonna be harder to score on 5 guys. Whether if I move the ball, get off of it, set some screens, get others open, and then allow myself to get open and just play out of that. So as far as rebounding and setting screens and all that, I'm just doing what's best for my team.
Yeah.
And with the person that I was and the way that teams prepared for me, they thought if they could take me out of the game, it would allow them a better chance to beat us. So, my junior year especially started with a face guard, and then my senior year I knew what was coming, so I was more prepared for it. And so I know, watching other teams and other
Coleman
players
gets the
that's
rebound
been
and hits the gas the other way. He knifes his way through the defense and goes off the glass. Warriors jump back in front, 32-31.
And for open looks. So for me, it's always been set a hard screen because not only am I helping my teammate out who's getting the screen, but I'm also helping myself out. And then as far as rebounding, man, get my team and me more possessions. It's very easy, especially as a guard. Nobody expects running in and jumping to go and sky for a rebound. So I'm usually left to not be boxed out. And so it allows me the chance to fly in for rebounds, just give my team extra possessions. And then on the defensive end, if I'm getting a rebound off the rim and versus my big, I can get it and just go in the break quick. So it's not no wasted time. We get out and play in transition well and just go from there.
That's awesome. So what's
That's awesome.
What's a fact or something that like about you that we may not know or people may not know that we don't see in the video? It can be basketball, anything. But what's a fun fact?
Okay, I got a few random facts. So, grew up in Kentucky, moved to Illinois my freshman year. Then spent my high school years here. It was a big change, but something that just needed to happen, and very grateful for the opportunities that has been bestowed upon me here. Two, with me growing up in Kentucky, I was born the way schooling works is a little bit different. So I started school early. So with that, I'm only 17 years old. I'll start college being 17.
You're only 17?
Yeah, so I'll be super young starting college.
Yes.
So I know that was a big recruiting piece that some coaches talked about. They like the fact that I was younger and still have some like untapped potential, and my body may develop a little bit more. Let's see, what's some other things? I don't know, really. I know what kind of your stereotypical type of kid. I mean, I grew up in a choir. I know how to play the drums.
Yeah.
Yeah. So grew up in a
That is
church.
cool.
With my,
Are you a gym rat?
My grandparents.
Are you
I
a
wouldn't
gym
say.
rat?
No, I wouldn't say like I'm overly. Yeah, gym rat.
Yeah.
Oh, as far as getting in the gym.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I mean that's just a given. With the level that I'm trying to be and the impact that I'm trying to have for my freshman year. I've definitely been in the gym and just trying to go in. My thing right now is to go in with not too many weaknesses, or having the coaching staff say, like, this kid can't do this because he's this. So just kind of trying to hone in on everything as far as, preparing myself from the added foot from the 3-point line, working on getting my release quicker, getting my body stronger, handle a little bit tighter, stamina way up, the court's way bigger. So, that
94 feet.
Yeah, that energy go quicker. So just all those things, obviously I won't really say mending my mind. For me, I got a chance to watch a lot of the Illinois State games this year and just kind of understand, what Coach P likes from his guards and how they guard actions, and, how they try to like to utilize people in different areas on the court. So just getting a chance to, get that mental aspect of that as well, more so than physical. So I'm just trying to go in my freshman year, be as impactful as I possibly can, and, do good things for Illinois State.
It sounds like you watch a lot of film and study. You talk about that. I haven't heard that yet from a high school recruit. I mean, I know it happens, right? But like you're calling it out. Like it seems like that's something you do intentionally.
Yeah, no. So my thing is, you want to create the biggest advantage for yourself. Why I say there's any weaknesses. So as far as
Amen. Yes.
Even when I'm in high school, if we're playing a team, I tell my dad, like, I start off, respecting the team, but at the same time fearing the idea of losing. That way it kind of motivates me to want to win more, and getting a chance, just to watch film and study people's tendencies on how they play defense, how their best defender guards, because I know he'll be on me if he got quick hands, what dribble moves to do so that I'm not getting ripped, or how I need to be playing in the paint. If they're a team that likes to be athletic and jump with you as you go up, or if they're a team that, very fundamental and takes charges, just stuff like that. And then, defense, reading people's tendencies on, a lot of high school guys are very easy to kind of predict. If they go left to their weak hand, they're probably going to shoot a pull up. If they go right to their strong hand, they're probably going to try to drive all the way downhill. So, just little stuff like that. And then going to as far as watching the Illinois State games, I was just, getting a chance to watch and study all the guards. So Dalton, Johnny, Malachi, got a chance to watch them a lot, especially Dalton. I watched him, but I took it with knowing that we play two different styles of basketball. He plays kind of more of a big guard role where he's back to the basket. I know I probably won't be doing that a lot, but just the way that he ran and commanded the offense, was just eye-opening to me. And even when we was in the open run, just the way he was leading the team, telling people to pick it up and get things going, make their runs competitive, just being a very vocal leader. So I just definitely took that a lot. And then, Johnny, his tenacity and the way he loves the game, look at that as well. Malachi, Malachi, he was actually my favorite guy that I watched. When I got there for my open run, I got a chance to watch his workout. And that was when I was like, I was like talking to my dad, like, that guy's nice. That guy's nice. Like, he's son, we got a chance of playing open runs, and he was just kind of getting whatever he wants.
Yeah. He worked hard. He worked very hard at his game. Yes.
Yeah, he was really good. So getting a chance just to watch him and just see the way his season turned out as well. So getting a chance to watch all the guards, even, Cade Norris, with what he was doing as a freshman, studying, like just looking at how he was handling being under that light as a guard, how teams was going to come at him, with him being a freshman.
They come at all freshmen, right?
They come at all freshmen, so they don't take anything easy. Yeah. Like, I noticed that teams would like to, try to speed him up to see how he would handle it versus Dalton. When Dalton bringing the ball up and commanding the offense, they would kind of, I wouldn't say give him more respect, but like just understand that we don't need to pressure him because, he may, he's been here, he has this experience, and he's an experienced guard. So just watching those little things, man, and just kind of trying to add it to my game so that, again, that I'm prepared for my freshman year.
All right, Tyreek, before closing, what do you want to get out of your 4 years at Illinois State?
Okay, yeah. So for my 4 years, man, I want to just start with a good education. So my parents have definitely stressed, that basketball is something that I do, not who I am. So with that, I just want to go in here and understand that, obviously it's a big part of what I'm doing and obviously while I'm in college here at that university, but to get an education is something that nobody can take away from you. And it's something that I'll have after the game is
100%.
After I've, played my last game. So that's something I'm big about. And then as far as these 4 years, man, I just want to come in and like leave my mark in a sense, Obviously, you always want to go in and leave something better than how you came into it. So getting the opportunity to get this team to the tournament, play out with my class and all of the guys that are there, build those relationships, grow closer to the coaching staff there, where, the trust level and the relationships that I'll build with them will definitely be huge. And, just create a winning program. This year I definitely was excited watching the Illinois State games because, from what I was saying, they brought it back. Everybody always was talking about, if they could, what they could do now that Coach P is kind of in it now, as far as, your first 2 years is, coach is getting used to what they have, but this third year is always huge for them. And Coach P and Coach Slade was like, we're feeling that we're going to have a good year, and they did. And so now I'm just going in there and just trying to build off of it. I know the guys with me in my class, we're excited to get there and work, just, be the best versions of ourselves for the university.
That is awesome. Love it. All right.
Okay.
Here's closing.
Okay, man. Just want to say shout out to my parents. Without them, none of this would be possible. They put the idea of allow me the opportunities to play this game at a high level. They did nothing but care for me and allow me to express myself freely on the court and, just nurtured this dream, this little kid's dream into what it is now. So shout out to them, all my coaches throughout the years that allowed me to help me to get to the player that I am now. My friends from the Sandlot that we grew up playing outside on the street, to the friends now where we get in the gym and are able to train and lift and, just better each other day in and day out. Just people I'll never forget, and it's been a time, man. Yeah.
That is awesome. All right, Tyreek. Thank you for being on episode 66 of Bird Fans Forever. Yes, Jon, get us a clapping. We got clapping, Tyreek. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Tyreek.